Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
The shooting and assassination of Christian apologist Charlie Kirk is sure to stir up controversy. So today we want to take a look at the scene that happened and unfolded today and try to determine where the shooter was. Well, anyway, normally we cover engineering disasters and other failures like that here. But again, this is another one of those things that involves forensics. And last year I did a number of videos on the Trump assassination attempt. So I want to take a look at some of the scenarios that happened here today and see what information we can glean out of this and try to determine where the shooter was located. And so the university is right here. So I'm going to zoom into the exact spot where, and it happened right here in this plaza. So this is the UVU courtyard. And everything was going on right in here. In fact, there was like thousands of people everywhere. There was people all over these staircases, all over the lawns here. And Charlie's tent was right here. And so what we're going to do today is just focus on this general area right in here. Now, this video clip that I'm about to show you was captured by two witnesses who probably a few minutes before the shooting, we don't know exactly when, but it shows what we think might be the shooter.
Get right up.
Yeah. You think he'd already be in place?
You would think that. So there's somebody on the roof right there? Just saying?
Huh.
He just ran from over, where's my finger? Well, from over there, ran in, and now he's right there. Just saying.
Okay, so if you look at the campus here, and I'm going to set our street view right here. So I think they were here on Campus Drive, and I believe the guys were probably in this parking lot or walking along this sidewalk going this way. Now, if you zoom in here, there's the green box that shows up in their video. And I believe they were looking down this sidewalk past the Sparks Automotive building here and over to the Losey building, which I believe the guy was right here that they saw prone, lying down right over here. So if you come back over here to the bird's eye view, here is where I think that they were walking down this way, down this sidewalk, and they were probably right around here, because there's your green maintenance box, or that might even be an air conditioner. We don't know. They were pointing this way. There's your Sparks Automotive building, the sign that you saw in the beginning of it. And then here is your Losey Center. And so I believe they were showing the person prone out right here on this spot on the third level. And then let me back it out a little here for you. So this is where they were showing the person who's either here or here. It's on one of these two levels. And then Charlie's tent was set up right here. So all the crowd was pretty much gathered in this area. And then there was people up on the top around all these different areas here overlooking it. Now, it's interesting that some of the views that I saw from potentially over here, people turned their heads to the right when they heard the shots. So that pretty much lends it to being from right here. Okay, so Charlie was sitting in his tent right here, marked by this yellow box, and it was facing this way, and he was pretty much situated almost in line with this sidewalk, I would say, right here like this. And so the shooter, from what we can tell from the videos, if it is the shooter, would have been sitting right up here in this corner part of the roof and easily had a line of sight right down to Charlie's neck. And certainly when we saw the video of the shooting there, as you can see, people who were standing back in here in this area, they looked to the right. You're in this area where shots are going to be reverberating all over the place, and it may be hard for people to tell where it came from, but most people seem to turn their heads to the right this way. Okay, now let me show you the video that probably shows the shooter after the fact. And here you can see the shot has just taken place, and the audience is ducking for cover, and they're getting ready to flee. And so this was taken from just behind Charlie's tent. His tent is right here. So this is upstairs on the second floor in the building right behind him and above his head. But let me take you back to the beginning of it, because maybe you didn't notice this, because it's going to show what I believe is likely to be the shooter. So when it pans over here, watch this roof right over here in the background. That's that building. So remember, the video was shot from in here, right above Charlie's head. Charlie was right here. And then this is the building right here. See the Lozi Center. So the person was right here. And it looks like he might have been running around over here where we lose sight of him. Okay, so right here in this frame from the video taken on the second floor right above Charlie's head, there's what's most likely the shooter right there. And you're going to watch him going this way, and he'll disappear behind this part of the roof. So watch as we pan over. See, he's moving now. He's getting closer and closer to that. And as we pan over, you're going to see him get closer and closer to the left. And he's going to hide right behind that thing there. So he's probably running to his access point, or however he got up on that roof. And then there's the crowd dispersing there. And here I slowed it down 5x for you and zoomed in so you can get a little bit clearer view of him running on the roof. And there's the best we can see from this view, but I'm sure there's got to be some security cameras that might have captured him. Now I want to show you this Life is Driving channel here on YouTube, and this is Adam Bartholomew, I believe that's how you pronounce him, and he had shot some video there. He was doing a live stream, and I'm going to show you some of what he's done here, where he's captured the building in the background, and you're going to catch a glimpse of the Losi building right there. See, this is at the LC. So I would think that the shooter was probably either here or up here. There is a way to get up to this level easily from this ladder. You could climb this ladder and then be right here, but it might be a little bit too visible from people who might be in these windows, so I can't really tell the architecture of whether they could see or not. But let's follow it around here a little bit as he moves, and you're going to see he's going to get a little bit better view of the building. He's walking around to go try to find protesters. And so he's backing away from the scene where the crowd is waiting for Charlie to come out. And so right here is where you get a much better view of what's going on. So if the shooter was going to be up here on this part of the roof, it looks like they can get access to it from way over here. This was his likely point of access, was coming up here and running across the roof, kind of like Thomas Crooks did before he shot President Trump. My money says the guy was on one of these two spots here. And I'll put a link to this video down below. Now watch here, because he was interviewing these guys when the shots rang out. And the building that the shooter would have been from is behind this building, down the sidewalk.
Sir, are they like restricting you guys up here or what?
Nah, it's too crowded.
It's just, there's just so much.
Before we had a flag and we had it so it's positioned above the tent so it would be in the camera and made us move.
What was that? Oh my God! He just got shot! Holy Holy
So the building is back around over here off to the left.
Apparently there's been a shooting. There's been a shooting. We heard shots. We heard shots.
So the building is back here behind these trees.
My son is down there. He says that Charlie Kirk has been shot in the neck. We have multiple eyewitnesses saying that Charlie Kirk has been shot in the neck and that they saw blood spray.
So if I measure from where we think the shooter may have been laying prone, somewhere right around here, to where Charlie's tent was located somewhere around here, this distance appears to be about 433 feet, which is about 144 yards. And if any of you saw my videos on the Trump assassination attempt in 2024, you remember that the Trump shooter was located almost, ironically, almost the same distance, about 133 yards. So here's a view of the courtyard where they were at, and of course Charlie was down here in the tent over here, sort of facing along the line of this sidewalk. But here's the building, and this is where I think that the shooter may have been located. That would have been the easiest spot for him to be, where he can be somewhat secluded and not too many people notice him, except for the guys that might have seen him on the video there. And then he had a good clean line of sight all the way down to here. Now, right here is a zoom in on the Losi building. This is from a drone view, and as you can look up there on the upper right-hand corner of the roof, that is where the shooter was likely sitting at. And so this is the spot where I think he may have been here. So this gives you a better view of like where these ladders are and how he could have gotten up there. See, here's the sign that says Losi Center right here. So they must have cameras somewhere, maybe inside, that may have captured the person. I mean, he had to have gotten up there somehow. And I don't know if any of these doors here lead up to the roof or not, but certainly he could have gotten up there from any of these other spots here. So that's what the police and the FBI need to look into to figure out how this guy got up there. So if you were the shooter and you were here, Charlie Kirk is here, and when you're done, you're going to escape. Where would you go? So possibly he had a car here waiting for him, or maybe he kind of runs down this road and runs into the back neighborhood, which would be really foolish because you'd want to be able to get out of there as quickly as possible. So my money says he had a car waiting here. Gets in the car and maybe goes this way. And I'll zoom out a bit and just gets off of the campus and either goes into the local area here or finds a way to get onto the interstate, possibly a little bit further up the road there, but it looks like it's a long ways up there before he could get on there. Yeah, see right here. So I would think this would be how he could escape if he wants to get out of Dodge quickly. The FBI has already arrested 2 people and released them. So as far as we know right now, there's no shooter in custody. So they're going to have to be reviewing all the video cameras and security cameras that were all over the place, and even the traffic light cameras, so that they can find whoever this was and trace back their steps. So if there's any more useful videos of the shooter or information, I will let you know. In the meantime, R.I.P. Charlie Kirk.